Some of the extremes we've been seeing in the weather, such as overly dry climates, now the rain's coming in, the net result can sometimes turn into fires or flooding. With those potential negative outcomes, it's always best, of course, to be prepared. Having the proper insurance in place is the first step. But if faced with one of the disasters, are you confident on knowing the proper steps to take? To help clear up any smoke in the air, we have Bob Lafaro from the Lafaro Insurance Agency here to talk about proper protocol. Bob, good to see you again. Is contacting your agent a first good rule of thumb? I'm guessing yes.
So always want to make contacting your agent a priority, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the first step.
Okay, for an example then, what if you have a fire and, a lot of people are left going like this when they have a fire. It's like, what do I do next?
Right. So typically after a significant fire, a house will not be inhabitable due to smoke damage. In addition to the experiencing this kind of loss, people usually have anxiety worrying about making provisions on where they're going to stay. Many of your homeowners and renter policies do provide coverage for additional living expenses you may incur. But having that quick reassurance that you won't be left out in the street or draining the credit card while staying in the hotel can be very comforting to a claim survivor, so contact the agent first there.
All right, now would that be the same strategy to take, in case of flooding?
Actually, what people need to understand in the event of significant water damage, time is of the essence. The key will be to start the drying process as soon as possible. As we discussed before, some instances of damage of water are covered, some are not. Regardless of the coverage, premises has to be dried out. The longer you take to get this done, the greater the chance you'll have permanently damaged property and the growth of mold. In addition, if the water was caused by storm conditions, chances are your water restoration companies are going to get booked up quickly. Contact them first, or you might find yourself left high and dry, but the exact opposite for your home.
Yeah, well, what if the extent of the restoration that a homeowner will need comes down to how much help they get from their insurance company? Because I assume that's often the case.
This is a legitimate counter-argument. The homeowner does have the option of weighing that and making that call. Although with water damage, you really don't want to be taking shortcuts if that's the mindset. Improperly addressed dampness can find its way of creeping back into your life.
All right, in other words, best to get it done right the first time, especially with water and everything, when you've got the walls all torn open and whatnot.
Taking the high road in those cases is always the drier route.
All right, so first point of contact can vary depending on the circumstances, I guess. But starting the restoration process is always first on the list?
Actually, not always. Eliminating the unfavorables is the first order of business, but special attention has to be given to the cause of loss. In the event of a fire, if the culprit was an appliance, for example, it's critical that the evidence be preserved. You don't need to leave that Black & Decker toaster in your living area, but you do want to preserve it. Many times, if an appliance has malfunctioned, an insurance carrier can recover the losses from the manufacturer, getting your deductible back, restoring your claim record, and possibly saving you from a surcharge.
Those would all be good things. Bob Lafaro, thank you once again for the time and the advice. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.